Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Research Roadshow. Today is November 3rd, and this is the second attempt to transmit an update on the trial of Mr. Jianwei Yu and the associated trial between TrueTheVote.org and Konnech down in Houston. On my right, there's a very important document that was emitted yesterday afternoon. Let me pull that up. Now, this is a letter written by some citizens of Georgia to members of the county government, Fulton County government. And let me draw the connection between Konnech Voting Solutions and this document, and why this is so important. There's been some discussion over the past, roughly 12 years as to the integrity of the electoral process at each stage in many counties throughout the U.S. As Harry the Greek has shown since October 5th of this year, Konnech Voting Solutions that has their machines or their systems. They don't actually build the voting machines, but their systems to handle the logistics are in at least 800 counties in America. So the trial of Jianwei Yu, also known as Eugene Yu, in Los Angeles, in a deeper way on Saturday afternoon. That trial is a very sensitive subject matter for a lot of very people in California, in Boston, and in Washington, especially for Mr. Adam Schiff. What they are trying to do here in Georgia, it's the same people behind Konnech Solutions and some of the maneuvering and elbowing, jostling for position that's going on here in Georgia. You might know the name George Soros. They are intent on convincing the U.S. voters, and even more so to convince people outside the U.S., that the American system is crumbling and that the American voter, the citizens are no longer able to decide the fairness of their own elections. They need an outside team to come and oversee our elections, the way the U.S. and other first world countries have gone into third world countries in Asia and Africa to oversee their elections. Approximately 1 month ago, a Mr. Ryan Germany of the Secretary of State of Georgia invited a dialogue between the Carter Center and the United Nations, and I've yet to verify this, a group of the Chinese Communist Party from China, from Beijing in the UN, to come to Fulton County and set up a working group to plan how to monitor the elections here in Fulton County, specifically the U.S. midterm elections on November 8th. A memorandum of understanding was written between these four parties, and that memorandum of understanding was sealed so that the general public could not view it, especially the U.S. citizens here in Georgia. They could not view that memorandum of understanding. And the reason for the document on the screen, the reason this is so important is that it shows that the U.S. citizen still has a toehold on the working of their government. We still have a toehold. So yesterday morning, and many of our viewers have already seen that video, our great Amber Konnech got up in front of the assembly, in front of the commissioners of Fulton County, and she was given 2 minutes of public comment along with 16 other individuals. And she went a step beyond what the others were saying in her public comment. She very calmly said, I know all of you. I enjoy spending time with all of you. In your capacity as our government officials of Fulton County, I urge you to give us access to this memorandum of understanding. Because if you don't have anything to hide, why is it hidden from our view? We are not a third world country. And I could almost hear the cameraman saying, not yet. We are not a third world country. We can handle our own elections. Let us see what this memorandum of understanding entails so that we, the citizens, can be sure there's nothing nefarious. Because we've heard rumors. I don't want to put words in Amber's mouth, but besides prior to this meeting, special session of the county government, there were rumors that the overseers would have broad powers during the actual election itself to pull ballots, to look at the quality, to kick a member of the Republican or Democrat committee overseeing the process out of the room. This letter was crafted it's a 7-page letter written by 2 lawyers, both of whom known to Amber Konnech, and representing this group of citizens who are very concerned. And the reason I put it up on the screen was because this is winning. This is the only way we are going to get out of this mess. And I speak from experience because in Europe, these memorandum of understandings happen all the time. And that is why the EU and non-European entities have much more power than the Italian people. It is tedious work. It is hard work to go through the steps, to gather the data, to make sure that you're not screaming, you're not crying wolf, that innocent parties aren't injured. It requires lots of determined hard work, staying up till 1 a.m., till 2 a.m. in the morning, making phone calls. Did you see this? Can you verify that? Working with people like Harry Greek and other court reporters to get court documents, to get transcripts. You've got to dot the I's, you've got to cross the T's before you can even think of drafting a letter like this one. So let me go over to let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Okay, it's addressed to the Fulton County government here in Atlanta regarding the memorandum of understanding between the State Election Board's Performance Review Board, Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, and the Carter Center. The Carter Center is for the most part the Jimmy Carter Library, Presidential Library. 2, members of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, members of the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, and the Fulton County Elections Director. This notice serves to inform you that we have reviewed the Memorandum of Understanding between the State Election Board's Performance Review Board, the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, the Carter Center, and have numerous legal concerns with your oversight of this official act that gained a 4-to-1 vote of your board on October 13th. As citizens, we present these concerns to you as grievances involving our county, state, and federal voting interest. We assert our full standing as community stakeholders in correcting any injuries alongside our fellow citizens pursuant to the recent Henry County and SCV versus Newton County ruling of the Georgia Supreme Court on October 25th of the same year. As a reminder of 4 fundamental truths related to your role as local governing authorities, your just powers only arise from our consent. We consider anything less to be a direct civil or criminal affront to our rights under the law. We as citizens are always additional party to any government act, and you should expect our petitions for grievances that cause us harm so that you may have the chance to correct and repair any damage before further legal action is pursued. With every paragraph, I like this document more and more. The professionalism, the decor, the respect of the other parties. Number 3, as county public officials with a sworn oath, you may not tacitly approve or oversee acts in Fulton County that are inconsistent with the U.S. Constitution, the Georgia State Constitution, nor the laws of Georgia. And number 4, ignorance of the law does not excuse you from liability in the state of Georgia. And I want to underline the last one here. Catherine Austin Fitts is famous for saying that true evil often masquerades as incompetence or ignorance. And you'll hear it all the time, that especially back in Cuyahoga County in Ohio. Well, we didn't know. Oops, our bad. We forgot about that. We overstepped our bounds. Sorry. It's a consistent behavior. It's an easy cop-out to just claim ignorance of the law. And in a lot of cases, they are. The government officials and their bureaucrats do not really understand the fine details, the commas and virgulas of the laws that they are supposed to uphold. Citizens and a national media audience now understand that your MOU with the Carter Center has arisen from a politically tense and incomplete performance review of Fulton County procedures. There's 6 more pages, but I just wanted to put this first page up there to let everyone know that in your respective county, it's not enough to just talk with your neighbors and friends about, how we have to do more to make sure the election's fair. You have to actually do the hard work to go page by page with court transcripts and things that will stand up in court. For example, on the Dominion servers, you have to have things stand up in court. You have to go through the spreadsheets. You have to go down line by line. It is hard, tedious work, but this is the only way. This is the only way we're going to increase that toehold into a foothold and then slowly crawl our way back to something representing, looking like the representative government that we had 50 years ago. It's the only way. Okay. The one more thing I want to put up, and the reason I say it's the only way is because we're hearing people, a lot of people in, especially in rural parts of America, saying that, well, we're going to go down to the state capitol and kick some butt. Ain't going to happen. They have the NATO has been wargaming this for at least 50 years. They are capable. For example, I said yesterday, my former desk mates in Finmeccanica are training UAE pilots to fly drones over America. So this is really the only way out with a positive outcome for everybody, not just U.S. citizens, but for the whole world. This is it. Okay, so I'm going to put up one more image. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by one. Can someone in the chat tell me how's my sound? Okay. I think I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty soon here. I want to underline one more time the fact that Catherine Engelbrecht and Greg Phillips are still in custody because not because they did anything, they didn't break any laws. They were not. They caused no harm to anyone. Remember, they're being sued by Konnech Incorporated for something like $1 million for defamation. They only told the truth about Konnech. The reason that they're being held they're in jail is because of they're in contempt of court for not revealing their third source, the third man. Because the implications are, with George Webb's theory, is that the third man might be connected, might unravel a whole long history of connections going back all the way to Iran-Contra. and they don't want that. Okay, where was the other document that I wanted to pull up? Okay, let's go into Harry's blog. Again, othersmiss.com. China and the United Nations have control of Georgia's November 8th election results. The United Nations Carter Center controls Georgia's November 8th election results through a treaty. It will certify Stacey Abrams as their governor on December 15th. The treaty was signed on October 13th by the Georgia Secretary of State and Atlanta's Fulton County Board of Elections. Now, keep in mind, as Harry pointed out, that the Georgia Secretary of State is not constitutionally allowed to enter into a treaty with countries or NGOs outside of the United States borders. So what the heck is Brad Raffensperger doing signing such a treaty? A press conference will announce it today at 10 a.m. at a special election board meeting. Okay, this is 2 days ago. That's the meeting at which Amber Connor and 16 others got up and said, "We are not a third world country. We would like to see this memorandum of understanding." In August 2021, pursuant to a request from the Georgia General Assembly, the state election board appointed a performance review board to conduct a performance review of the Fulton County Board of Elections and Registration, otherwise known as Fulton BOER. Pursuant to OCGA paragraph 21-2-106, the duty of the PRB is to make a thorough and complete investigation and issue a written report of its findings to the Secretary of State, the State Election Board, and the local governing authority, which shall include such evaluations, judgments, and recommendations as it deems appropriate. Notice that there was a memorandum of understanding, or a draft of the memorandum of understanding. Someone found it and put it up on Scribd.com, but within hours, Scribd.com had taken that draft down. Fulton County